Welcome to Newspaper Headlines and Analysis this Tuesday, the 19th day of April 2022. Tuesday, 19th of April 2022. We shall be starting today's episode with a profound respect for one of the ethics of journalism, and that is making sure that all the sides to an issue get to have their say. In as much as yesterday I broadcast the audio reading of the homily of Bishop Hassan Matthew Kukah, the Bishop of the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto, in his remonstrance of the President's conduct, and indeed in his lambast to his fellow clerics, both in the Christian and the Muslim faiths. It is incumbent on me to make sure that the response, or indeed the responses, as it has turned out to be, of the two spokesmen of the presidency be also given an equal degree of ventilation or broadcast. And so today I shall let you first listen to the reportage of the responses of the two presidential spokespersons, Messrs. Femi Adesina and Garba Shehu, to the homily of the revered Bishop Hassan Kukah. Here goes the responses, and my analysis will then follow. We're having a bit of a technical problem here, and now we can then go with it. Here goes the responses of the presidential spokespersons.
The presidency on Monday said the wicked intention of those who divided Nigeria with their mouths shall not come to pass. The special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, said this in a tweet. Easter, Buhari has destroyed Nigeria. Bishop Kukah. Only corruption is alive under Buhari. Bishop Kukah. His reaction came a day after the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Most Rev Matthew Kukah, criticized the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. But in subtle response, Adesina tweeted, "Those who divided Nigeria with their mouths, with evil, unguarded speaking, are the ones now accusing President Buhari. How sad. Their wicked intentions shall not come to pass." Kukah, in his Easter message titled, "To Mend a Broken Nation," the Easter metaphor, had alleged that every aspect of life in the country had been destroyed while corruption was enthroned under President Buhari. The bishop, who also criticized the president over his government's inability to tackle insecurity and corruption, further claimed that President Buhari had divided Nigerians on the basis of ethnicity, religion, and region. According to him, the challenge of fixing this broken nation is enormous and, as I have said, requires joint efforts. With everything literally broken down, our country has become one big emergency, national hospital with full occupancy. Our individual hearts are broken. Our family dreams are broken. Homes are broken. Churches, mosques, and infrastructure are broken. Our educational system is broken. Our children's lives and future are broken. Our politics is broken. Our economy is broken. Our energy system is broken. Our security system is broken. Our roads and rails are broken. Only corruption is alive and well. The greatest challenge for Nigeria is not even the 2023 elections. It is the prospect for the reconciliation of our people. Here, the Buhari administration sadly has divided our people on the basis of ethnicity, religion, and region, in a way that we have never witnessed in our history. This carefully choreographed agenda has made Nigerians vulnerable and ignited the most divisive form of identity consciousness among our people. Years of friendships, cultural exchange, and collaboration built over time have now come under serious pressure from stereotyping. He chided the president for what he said showing far greater commitment to integrating so-called repentant terrorists than getting our children back from kidnappers or keeping our universities open. Join politics, let's see how far you go, Baba Shehu Max Kuka. The presidency on Monday night advised the Catholic Bishop of the Diocese of Sokoto, Most Rev Matthew Kuka, to either leave government to the voters and concentrate on his job or put away his clerical garb and join partisan politics. The senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Malam Baba Shehu, in a statement on Monday titled Kuka's Virus of Hate, said this was not a time for religious leaders to play politics or politicians to play religion. Only corruption is alive under Buhari. Bishop Kuka. Your wicked intention shall not come to pass. Presidency hits back at Kuka. The special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adzima, had earlier said in a tweet on his Twitter handle @FemiAdzima, said, "Those who divided Nigeria with their mouths, with evil, unguarded speaking, are the ones now accusing President Buhari. How sad. Their wicked intentions shall not come to pass." The separate reactions came a day after Kuka had criticized the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari in his Easter message titled, "To Mend a Broken Nation, the Easter Metaphor." But Shehu in a more detailed response said Nigerians elected the president again because they refused to be swayed by hateful talk from any bully pulpit. He flayed the decision of Bishop Kuka to use the Easter period to play politics and spread his message of hate. The statement read, "As the nomination congress approaches, rumblings within the party rise to an acrimonious crescendo, and the troubleshooting market blossoming in the opposition People's Democratic Party PDP, which is in desperate yearning for his tested skills. We are surprised minus so too are many others minus that the Catholic Bishop of the Diocese of Sokoto, Matthew Kuka, could still find the time for a lengthy homily on his usual target, Muhammadu Buhari, the President of Nigeria. For a man who has been spreading hate for decades, nothing new in the homily, except for the fact that while millions of Christians were remembering the Lord's crucifixion on Friday, his descent on Saturday, his resurrection on Sunday, and subsequent appearance to his disciples, Bishop Matthew Kuka was playing politics. From his pulpit, he devoted his Easter message not to Christ's death and rebirth, so man might be saved, but to damning the government in the most un-Christian terms. Bishop Kuka neglects the Bible's teachings in James 1:26, "If anyone thinks he is religious, and does not bridle his tongue but deceives his heart, this person's religion is worthless." Easter should be a time for renewal, and for hope, for those in authority, both temporal and spiritual, to come together in word and deed so those who look to them for example can be inspired by their grace. This is not a time for religious leaders to play politics, or politicians to play religion. It is a time, as in Titus 3:9, to avoid foolish controversies, genealogies, dissensions, and quarrels about the law, for they are unprofitable and worthless. Yet Bishop Kuka used his sermon purposefully to make dissensions and quarrels about the law. His accusatory list against the government revealed only his hatred for them. Still, when he accused them of division, he gave no examples details, merely assertions emanating from his own mouth. His allegation of ethnic and regional divide was innuendo without proof, and he gave none. His list of things he claims has broken from churches to mosques to schools and motorways belie all those that have been built, and others built anew during this government's time in office. Should he feel compelled, for whatever reason, to criticize the government for what he views as their mistakes, the Bible makes clear how it should be done. Brothers, if anyone is caught in any transgression, you who are spiritual should restore him in a spirit of gentleness. Galatians 6:1-2. The presidential aid added, if bishops or religious leaders believe they have a willing audience for tales of government error or fragility, they do an injustice to their flock by filling their ears with talk of division and hateful thoughts. Nigeria knows too well Bishop Kuka's views of the government. He has made quite clear how much he dislikes them from the day they were elected. Whether expressing his political views is a good use or an abuse of religious office is for others to decide. But the people of Nigeria have spoken twice. They support this government at the ballot box. They have not been swayed by hateful talk from any bully pulpit. We respectfully ask Bishop Kuka to leave government to the voters and the politicians they elect, while he concentrates on his job, as it is expressed in James 1:27. Religion that is pure and undefiled before God, the Father, is his, to visit orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself unstained from the world. Or else, he should put away his clerical garb, join partisan politics and see how far he can go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I must confess at this juncture that I have a profound degree of sympathy and indeed empathy for Messrs. Femi Adesina and Garba Shehu. Why do I have that much degree of sympathy and empathy for this gentleman? Because, as I've always said, in the last 6 to 7 years, I made up my mind that President Muhammadu Buhari was going nowhere fast. 2 weeks into his administration, when it was 2 weeks into his administration and he could not appoint his cabinet, I concluded that the president was going to be going nowhere fast. I must own up to the fact that this administration has presented me with some shocking positive accomplishments. In the first term, the nature and the dynamics with which the elaborate, unprecedented social welfare infrastructure was contrived and managed, across the value chain: skills empowerment, enterprise empowerment, support for the indigent. I was very pleased because, to me, in an unprecedented manner, it was the first time any administration in Nigeria would implement such a broad spectrum and well thought out social welfare program. Unfortunately, the internal politicking in the presidency ultimately culminated in the messing up of that program, and by the beginning of the second term, the program became a political football that's been kicked into a form of throwing out from what was a penalty. I must also confess that nobody can take away the fact that this administration has been the administration in the colonial and political history of Nigeria that has ever done the highest number of mileage of rolling stock for train. Nobody can take that away. Having said that, the perceived predisposition of the president to nepotistic tendencies, the lackluster attitude, leadership is more about confidence building. Leadership is more about being seen as the chief encourager, and leadership is more about playing the theatrics of empathy, connectivity, concern, and indeed involvement. All things the president seems to lack. Having also said that, I must confess that I really feel for these two gentlemen, because as I've always stated in the last 7 years, it is practically difficult, almost impossible, to speak competently for incompetence. These gentlemen are usually left, and I mean gentlemen Femi Adesina and Garba Shehu are usually left to swim not only against the tide of popular opinion, but also against logic and against coherence, because like him or loathe him, Bishop Kukah has chosen the form of homiletics that has refused to be confined to the pulpit of his church, and whenever he releases his homilies, in a way a sizable percentage of Nigerians are connected. To want to resort to ridicule, name calling, finger pointing, and stigmatization to react to the bishop's opinion may end up being somewhat self-serving and indeed more exasperating to a largely disillusioned public. Sometimes, to put it simply, Mrs. Femi Adesina and Garba Shehu, sometimes, my friends, quietude is king. I hope and pray that some of you who are close to the president may find a way to let him know that Buhari is now contesting against Buhari's legacy, and about time he did more that he's been seen to have done in the last 7 years, especially in the area of confidence building. When the president speaks about disasters in his polity and his words, not usually even spoken by him but by spokespersons, are seen and taken to be hollow, when the president is generally perceived to be disconnected from the reality of his polity, when security now defines the essence of life and not even some of the unprecedented and historic accomplishments of the government. My brothers, you may know how to speak, but you'll be speaking in vain. Gentlemen, the fundamental problem here, and I empathize with you guys, is not so much how well you do your jobs, but it's so much how deep the well that the president puts you people into whenever you have to defend him is. And Femi and Gaba, I think I have the journalistic liberty to let you know, the two of you, that I think it's about time you started thinking about your lives beyond what is seemingly at this juncture an irretrievably damaged, perception-wise, Buhari's presidency. Today we move to the front pages of the newspapers, starting with the Punch newspaper. Electoral violence. 1,149 Nigerians killed. INEC suffers 42 attacks. Decries rising insecurity. Sexual abuse. Christland head teacher, parents, authors report to SCID Panti. Remove your cassocks. Join politics. Presidency, replies Kuka. Lay down your arms. Russia urges Ukrainians. Percentage of wife beaters minimal, says Mike Bamiloye. Sexual abuse. Christland head teacher, parents, authors report to State CID Banti in Lagos. You are perfect. Adekunle Gold, 8th wife, Simi, on birthday. Please arrest suspected kidnappers in Osun. Moving now to the Vanguard newspaper. And the front page of the Vanguard newspaper reads 4 trillion naira bill. Our petrol subsidy grew by 349.42% in 3 years. What an irony. 4 trillion naira bill. Our petrol subsidy grew by 349.42% in 3 years. Ironically, this humongous ballooning of the subsidy is coming under the administration of a man who once looked at a camera and said, what subsidy? What subsidy? And claimed that he never believed, even when he had previously held the office of the Minister of Petroleum. And it was one of the administrations that initiated the subsidy program, claimed that there was no subsidy. That's the irony of the Muhammadu Buhari personage. Christian parents tango over do used Christian parents tango over abused people. I repeat, Christian, parent tango over abused pupil. So you should read Christian and parent tango over abused pupil, abused quote unquote. Pardon, disband EFCC, ICPC now, Wike tells Buhari. Disband EFCC, ICPC now, Wike tells Buhari, I guess because of the pardon of Dariye and Yame. Man stabs farmer to death in Jigawa over firewood. Only weak men beat women, Apostle Suleiman. Only weak men beat women, Apostle Suleiman. I couldn't agree more, can't agree more. To be honest with you, I'm not quite a fan of this apostle, but truth be told, I quite agree with the line. Only weak men beat women. 10 billion naira debt. FCTA seals Federal Ministry of Works. Character Commission authors. Federal Capital Territory Authority seals Federal Ministry of Works, Federal Character Commission and others because of land rates. That's interesting. Speaks to the dissonance of the administration in much more respects than we had seen or thought of. PHED condemns attacks on electricity infrastructure, calls for caution. PHED condemns attacks on electricity infrastructure, calls for caution. No remuneration for teachers to wait till 2023. Vanguard findings. No remuneration for teachers to wait till 2023. Osinachi, Edo-based lawyer, institutes annual award to immortalize late singer. Osinachi, Edo-based lawyer, institutes annual award to immortalize late singer. 2023, prepare to hand over to Jonathan S. Warlord tells Buhari. 2023, prepare to hand over to Jonathan S. Warlord tells Buhari. I would also, if I were to swap places with the S. Warlord, having abused procedure to have garnered a lot of illicit wealth under Jonathan, I would also have said the same thing. Nigeria, Mauritius retain seats in UN rights committees. Railway retirees, workers kick as NRC plans ejection from quarters. When ghosts vote, voters register and credible elections. Federal government to restore National Stadium, Lagos. Dari, I wish they could. I was at the National Stadium to jog 3 days ago, and my soul was really dampened at the deplorable condition of the infrastructure. I could see billboards and signages to the effect that Baba Jebu is pursuing the rehabilitation of the tracks and the field, but the general infrastructure, the general condition of the main infrastructure itself, deplorable and very saddening. Now to the Guardian newspaper. The front page of the Guardian reads, investors want more slice of 13.76 trillion naira pension assets in stock. Investors want more slice of 13.76 trillion naira pension assets in stocks. Buhari's critics responsible for division in Nigeria. Additional replies, Kuka. I am deeply concerned about developing countries, says World Bank's president. Super Eagles preliminary round opponents emerge as draw odds today. Soldiers allegedly open fire on civilians in Imo. And now to the Tuesday newspaper. The Tuesday newspaper's front page reads, Cleric warns against legalizing immoral acts. Bible Society holds National Board meeting. Amid worsening insecurity, Defense Minister seeks God's intervention to defeat terrorists. PDP announces new dates for forms submission screening. Marginal fields will not accept people trading in our papers. Inflation, adjust policies to boost supply, World Bank tells Nigeria authors. $418 million per club refund. Don't tamper with our allocations, governors insist. After Babalola to federal government suspend 2023 elections, set up interim government. I wonder how that's going to work, sir. Daily Trust newspaper's front page reads, 53 commissioners, authors resign in states as Buhari's ministers stay put. 53 commissioners, authors resign in states across the federation as Buhari's ministers stay put. And this is because of the provision in the Extant Electoral Act that speaks to the fact that no appointed member of an executive council, either at the state or the federal, should sit in that office and contest in any party's convention to be a candidate of the party. Just in, Federal Capital Territory sues Ministry of Works, Federal Character Commission over debt. 53 commissioners others resign in states as Buhari's ministers stay put. Police probe alleged rape of 10-year-old Lagos Chrisland School pupil. Security is everyone's business, Minister. And lastly, for today is the Nigerian Tribune. The Nigerian Tribune reads, $418 million per club loan refund. States want federal government not to tamper with their own portion of it. Dubai state, Lagos government shuts Christian schools. A lot of federal government suspend 2023 elections, install interim government. World Bank alerts on danger of rising debts, inflation to Nigeria. Lagos bans military checkpoints in Apapa, outlaws their Papa military checkpoints, I must say, has now earned the infamy of being points of corruption, especially as it relates to the extortion perpetrated against tanker drivers who need to be traffic managed into the port. It's preposterous, the amount that one gets to hear that are paid there in those at those checkpoints just to get the facilitation of moving in the direction of the port, as much as 120,000 naira. And inevitably, the average Nigerian who buys any of these products to be taken out of the port would ultimately pay for this. No, it's not only the Russian attack on Ukraine that is triggering inflation in Nigeria. Some of our culturalized corruption tendencies are doing well beyond that. And lastly for today, Cristiano Ronaldo loses baby son. Oh, sorry, mate. Cristiano Ronaldo loses baby son. What a sad way to end for today. Tomorrow is another day. Thank